Hey y'all, you're watching Portie's Garage. Today I'm working on my 83 Foxbody here, and the rear bumper is sagging. Super common issue, happens in a lot of these vehicles. Just over the years, there's not really a lot of support, and this thing will start sinking down. So we're gonna try and fix it ourselves at home in the garage for under 30 bucks. Let's see what we can do. And just for frame of reference, I'm gonna measure up to where this top molding piece starts. In the center of the car, we're at about 21¼ inch. We go over to the sides where it's not sagging as much, we're at 22¼ inch. So it looks like overall we lost about 1 inch of sagging. Let's get this bumper cover off, see what we're working with. Now getting the bumper cover off, you're gonna be looking inside the trunk. I already took my trunk liner out so I can get access, but you're gonna look for these guys right here. There are, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so along this bottom edge here. And then we're gonna have a couple more kind of tucked away in these corners. You can see them right there with my hand not in the way, but basically those are all holding the bumper on. And I believe they're all supposed to be 11/30 seconds. So let's undo these, see if we can take the bumper cover off. You're also gonna see a handful of push pins holding the bumper cover on way down at the bottom. We're gonna pop those out. Already got the screws out, and I think we should be able to slide this bumper cover right off. And final step, slide it right on off. So here's the inside of the bumper, and part of what's causing our issues is this crusty old metal piece right here. I believe that's supposed to support the bumper from sagging, but clearly it's not doing its job anymore. The other culprit is we've got our bumper guard right here, but the bumper doesn't actually rest on it. There's a little bit of room up until you hit the plastic part. So this is gonna come into play with our solution here. So I'm gonna clean this up and we'll get right back to it. My bumper is showing some symptoms of a little bit of rust, so I'm just gonna hit it with some rust reformer before we move on. Nice to know that it might do something at least. And so on and so forth. So here's the plan. I've got some foam insulation and some construction adhesive. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a structure on top of the crash bar so that the top of the bumper actually rests on that. Just going to have to do some measurements, some trial and error, you know, cut and test, and then we'll see what we got. So I'm starting off by making my foam into 3-inch strips. 3.5 inch, sorry. I just cut one to measure, and then I'm making a stencil. So I'm going to cut all these out and start test fitting them on the crash bar. All right, I have a very rough kind of trial run here. I've just been taping these together so they don't blow away. You know, just cut, try, test fit, see what works best. So I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna try and put the bumper cover on, see what that does. If I need to add more, take some off, or scrap it and do something entirely different. And bam, just like that, we've got a nice straight and smooth bumper. No more dropping down in the middle. Actually looks like this car hasn't spent decades sitting out in the sun. Couple notes here. One, the clips on the bottom, all of them but one broke when I was taking them out. So I've kind of got it held in with some screwdrivers right there. I'll make a trip to the store, get some pins, and actually get it set in. And I did end up taking my taillights out when I did this. I kind of had to bring the bumper in almost up and down and then bring it in, and I didn't want to scratch my lights up with those studs or anything. So they're just sitting in right now. All I got to do is put some stuff back together, and look at that. Feels good when a project goes right. Now we're measuring 23 inches right over here. About 22.5 in the middle. And 22 3/4 over here. About a 1/2 inch different across the back. I don't really notice it. I don't think there's anything I can do to get it absolutely perfect, so I think we're gonna call that a win. and I promised y'all I'd give you some measurements. So here's kind of how mine came out. In the middle where it was the widest, it was about 4.5 inches. And then I just kind of followed the shape of the crash bar here. Ended up with 3.25 at the end. And I did kind of try and round off the corners here. I just took a saw, zipped straight through across this. And then the real important one here is mine ended up being 2 inches, pretty much exactly, thickness. Anything higher, it would kind of push the bumper up. I wouldn't be able to get it tucked in underneath. This just seemed to work for me. Your mileage may vary. These are old cars. The plastic warps, things happen, but this would be a good jumping off point if you want to try it yourself. I can even show you here. Actually touching in the middle. So, you know, we're not sagging anymore. And if you were so inclined to lean on the bumper, you actually have something underneath to support you. Here's a quick little before and after shot for you. It's not a huge difference, but I feel like it comes a long way in cleaning up the back end. It's the details that count. And I only ended up spending $22.11 on materials. Real quick, cheap upgrade. That'll add a lot. So, that's about all for today. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.